Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the McFarlane Toys Mortal Kombat Spawn figure. Yes, I'm gonna keep calling him Spawn because it's an inside joke that none of you know, and I still enjoy it, and I'm gonna say it because it makes me happy inside. But I also am happy inside because I freaking love this figure. It's easily one of my personal favorites of the year. I think it's got a good chance of being on the top 10 list as far as actual quality goes too. But this is a special limited edition. Not really. It's the one with the Mace, which was supposed to be a limited thing. Turned out that's not the case. It's mostly the same figure, but really I just wanted an excuse to review this figure again a little bit. It's such a fun figure. But there are definitely some things we're going to talk about. Mostly we're not going to talk about too much though, because we did review almost the exact same thing not that long ago. So let's go ahead and get it off the stand and take a closer look. This guy stands just about 19 centimeters, which makes him pretty close to 7.5 inches, just shy of that. And you might be surprised to know that the Mace version of this guy is exactly the same as the sword version or the axe version. He just comes with a mace. That's it. That's the only difference. I didn't really need to make a whole video about this, or at least I wouldn't have if I knew that it was the exact same figure, which I did. But I did want to talk about two other things. First of all, did you see that axe? That was pretty cool, right? Anyway, this figure's great. It's a really good figure, and I said that in the review for this figure. And I've had a few people ask me what happened to that review, why is that review and a few other McFarlane reviews no longer on the channel. Well, they're technically still there. I have they're not for public consumption anymore because I said a few things in those videos which I have decided after looking back were probably a little bit too harsh. Even for this figure, in talking about the other figures, I said some things that I feel now are probably too harsh looking back, because, and I'll explain, because I just said the same thing twice essentially. Some of the figures that McFarlane released earlier in this new batch of McFarlane highly articulated figures were pretty awful, and I stand by everything I said about those being bad. However, I do not stand by my delivery because I feel bad, because the company has since, and very quickly I might add, like within a few months even, made drastic leaps forward, which is partly why I was so upset when those bad figures came out. They're so capable of making good figures like this. They've made some great figures, but those ones were really bad. And some of the things I said, while mostly for comedic relief, were too harsh, and I just felt it was not fair to represent the company. I mean, I'm not representing them, but my representation of my thoughts about the company were maybe a little over poignant, let's just say. So anyway, I took those down because I thought it wasn't right. I felt bad for the things I said about the company since they have done such a good job, and I thought it was only fair to not leave that on there since they have done a good job since. If anybody's going back to buy those old figures, well, I kind of doubt that's the case, and I don't think it's going to hurt anybody for my videos to not be on there, because it was just, I said some things that were too mean and probably more personal than they should have, not probably, definitely more personal than they should have been. Anyway, this figure happens to be a great one, and I said that in that review. The new accessory, I mean, I don't care. I like the sword. I think everybody prefers the sword, but maybe this is more popular in the game. I don't know. I don't care. And I'm not selling these anymore, so I'm not plugging it, but I happen to love this axe for him, and it's all I need. And I'd like to point out the green that I use is closer matched to his eyes than the green that they use, so, you know, just putting that out there. But anyway, I'm going to use my axe that I made, but this one does come with the mace, and it's a nice enough accessory. It's fine. If I was you, I'd get the sword as well. The axe one I wouldn't buy, frankly. I'm not buying it, and that's why I haven't shown it to you. Their axe, not my axe. It just doesn't look good. But the figure itself is awesome, and it is exactly the same as the previous release. Mine has a heavier wash back here, but mostly just right here. There's a really dark spot. I'm gonna have to try to clean that up, but it's the exact same figure. Other than production variants, it's the same. So if you don't care about the accessories, then pick up whichever one you can find. I've seen the Axe one a few times at Target now. I've seen the Mace one a few times at GameStop. I got this at Big Bad Toy Store. I think it's still available there, so if you're still trying to track one of these down, you might want to do that. Go ahead and do that. But there's no need for me to go over all of this again. I just wanted to clarify because a lot of people have been asking me about the Spawn review and the various other reviews that I have no longer left public on the channel. So I just wanted to explain that and to just show this. I love this figure so much. I happen to love Spawn. I don't really care so much about the story. I think it's fine. But as far as just character design, I love him. I could take or leave the boot, I guess. I don't need the big boot over here, but I don't care that it's Edgelord City and it's just silly. I love Spawn's character design, and this figure represents him very nicely. And I wanted to take that chance to show him off on the channel again. So I think that probably covers it. You saw the Mace, and I talked a little bit, and that's probably good for the video. So there you go. Thanks for watching, guys. Oh, you know what? Let's just go ahead and do a question. Let's do a question. Question of the day. There are 3 versions of Spawn. This Spawn figure, which have released, the one with the sword that I already reviewed, this Mace version, or the one with the axe. Which version is your personal preference? Which one do you like the most? For me, it's the sword, if I'm not counting my custom axe. And you guys can choose whichever one you like, so let me know in the comment section below that. Let me know what you think about the whole Spawn figure in general. Since we did review that before, we can talk about that again if you like. And if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. And if you haven't subscribed, you should, because I have new videos almost every single day, and thousands already on the channel. So make sure you come back for all of that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.